Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. Today we are being hosted by Ragged Mountain Resort in Danbury, New Hampshire. For over 50 years, the Lake Sunapee region, VNA, and Hospice has been serving our region. Today we start a series looking at that history as Tanya Wilkie, the first director, tells us about the early days.
I was 23 years old when I was hired as the first Director of Professional Services for the Kearsarge Visiting Nurse Association. The funny part was the only person I was directing was myself and one other part-time staff nurse. In 1975, the Kearsarge Visiting Nurse Association was only 5 years old, and they had an operating budget of $17,000, $10,000 of which was my salary, and I was absolutely thrilled with it, and $7,000 was split between the part-time staff nurse and medical supplies. We were very fortunate to be rent-free here at New London Hospital. We had a very small office space. Well, I quickly fell in love with home care. There is an expression, you will never work a day in your life if you love what you are doing. I had found my passion and I was making it happen. It was the best way to practice nursing, which was visiting clients in their own home environment, where they wanted to be. Well, when I sort of think back of the 15 years I was at the VNA and what some of our sort of major accomplishments were during that period of time, clearly developing the maternal child health program comes to mind. We were fortunate that Charles Albano was the first. He was the Director of Maternal Child Health Services for the state of New Hampshire, and he helped us have the first well child clinic in the state of New Hampshire, which was in Warner. And we then had well child clinics throughout the areas that we covered, providing pediatric services. Another major accomplishment during that period of time had to be merging the Newport Home Health Agency. Sharon Urban was the executive director, and it was a wonderful person to work with the Kearsarge Visiting Nursing Association, forming the Lake Sunapee Region VNA, and we expanded our catchment area from 7 towns to 17 towns, and greatly expanded the services that we could offer. Another major accomplishment was becoming a Medicare certified hospice during that period of time. And that allowed us to receive reimbursement to provide terminally ill care in clients' home, which is where they wanted to be. So there was no GPS, there was no cell phone service, and the maps didn't have many of the back roads on them that I needed to travel to see clients. I was fortunate that Brad White, some of you listening may remember him as a realtor in New London, he would find my car pulled along the side of the road and pull up and say, "KVNA, are you lost again?" So getting lost was one struggle. Bad weather, you know, we were like the postman. We would, deliver neither snow nor rain nor heat nor the gloom of night could keep us from our route. Well, it was the same with the visiting nurses. We went out in all kinds of weather. I remember Addie Stewart, a visiting nurse from Bradford, who went out on a snowmobile in a blizzard to provide much needed services to a client.
Thanks, Tanya. Next week, we'll hear from her about how teamwork equals success in those early days at the VNA.